we will be. Hello everyone, we'll officially get started with Sachai's Talking Books Session 2. Today we will be discussing The Missing Mail by R.K. Narayan. To start off, I will tell you a brief overview of the agenda. We'll first have trivia questions about the author, since we discussed that last time. And second, we will have some short questions about the short story, The Missing Mail. After that, everybody will get about 2 minutes time to give us their impression about the story and any other feedback they may have about the story. At the end, we will have a few discussion questions. I will pop up the discussion question and we can all give our thoughts on it. At the end of the meeting, Sandhya will be playing a short video about The Missing Mail. It's 21 minutes and 17 seconds long. Please stay. It is really a nice short video. You will definitely enjoy it. So let's get going. First, about the author R.K. Narayan. We discussed his bio last week, and everybody can unmute yourself for the short questions. Our first question is, which year was R.K. Narayan born?
1906.
Yes,
1906.
1906. Great. How old was he when he died?
94.
Huh?
Hey, Shanta, you
94.
get one chance.
I know.
94.
Yeah. She said
How old
scream,
are you?
everybody scream. That's why I'm screaming.
Okay,
Geeta,
how
go
old
ahead.
was he when he died?
Geeta.
94, 94.
2001. Oh, sorry. He died in 2001.
It's about 95, in his mid
94. Not yet, because he
94.
died in May and he was born in October. So he was 94 when he died.
Good. What was his famous cartoonist brother's name?
R.K.
Lakshman.
Lakshman.
Oh,
R.K. Lakshman.
Yes.
I'm
R.K.
keeping I'll mute myself.
Okay, now I'm
How-
also muting because I answered one too many.
How did the name Malgudi come about?
Malleshwaram and Basavangudi.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So he took the MAL from Malleshwaram and the Gudi from the end of Baswangudi. Awesome job, Nirmala. The last
For
question
those who
about-
don't know Bangalore, these are two areas in Bangalore.
Older areas of Bangalore.
Which novel of his was made into a famous movie?
Guide.
Right.
Yes, Nandini, awesome. We'll move
What
on to
movie?
some.
Sorry. Go ahead.
what movie? I didn't get it.
Guide.
Guide.
Devanandan Wahida Rahman.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah.
he wrote.
It was his. Shanta would have sung the song. Canto make it.
Yeah.
Guide song.
All right. So we'll have some short questions on the story, The Missing Mail. What was the mailman's name?
Ramanujam.
Tanappa.
No.
Tanappa.
Tanappa.
Tanappa. Sorry.
Tanappa.
Tanappa.
Where was the mailman's head office?
Marketplace.
Market Road.
Market Road.
Market Road.
Market Road. Yes, Market Road. What was Mr. Ramanujam's address?
10 Vinayak Mudali Street.
100. No.
10 Vinayak. Yeah.
Yeah,
Vinayak.
10 Vinayak Mudali Street. Good job.
At least.
What was Ramanujam's daughter's name?
Kamakshi.
Kamakshi.
Oh, good job, Sushila.
I
That's
just read
great.
it.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
How old was Kamakshi during the story?
19.
17.
Sushila, now you have to mute.
17.
Yeah. 17. Yes.
17. Okay.
17. How much money did Kamakshi's grandfather set aside for her?
Five-
5,000
5,000
rupees.
Rupee.
Five-
Dollars. Shanta's into dollars here.
I didn't say da said, I
It's a
said
da.
rupees after that.
Yeah, I said 5,000 rupees. So,
I was taking a breath because
oh, okay. Okay.
okay, I better mute myself.
On what
Two
date,
questions.
on what month and, okay, I have two more questions. So let's give opportunity to those who have been very
Yeah.
quiet. Let's see. Shaukat,
And Sandhya.
Shobana, Lata, come on. Speed up. Two more questions. On what month or date was Kamakshi's marriage held?
May 20th.
May.
Very good. Last short question. In which city did Ramanujam's brother live?
Madras.
Madras.
No.
Salem.
Salem.
Who said that?
Salem.
Salem.
Gita said
Gita.
Salem.
Good job.
Okay.
Sorry, Padma, is it brother or is it uncle?
Ramanujam's
friend.
brother.
It's no.
Yeah,
Actually,
Ramanujan's
it's
brother and the
uncle.
daughter's Kamakshi's uncle.
Kamakshi's uncle, yeah.
Kamakshi's father is Ramanujam, and
Yeah.
Ramanujam's brother is the one who died, and
Yeah.
he lived in Salem.
So Tangappa is not
Tanappa.
really,
Tanappa.
Tanappa.
yeah, whatever. He's not really related or anything. He's just a person.
No.
He's a
Postman,
mailman.
He's a mailman.
Yeah.
Very sensitive mailman.
Hmm.
So now let's give everybody 2-minute opportunity to talk about their experience when they read the book, what they thought about it, their impression and emotions during it. So let's everybody mute ourselves. And couple of people said they need to leave early. So we'll give, I think Lata said you need to leave early. So maybe we can give Lata an opportunity first to talk about the book. 2 minutes is yours, Lata.
No,
Yeah.
anyway, I like the story, and I also like the fact that he was being very considerate. The Tangappa guy, was being very considerate of making sure that Kamakshi, did get married. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And again, I couldn't see anything. I could see the fathers being over emotional. It's the uncle who died, but whatever. I basically couldn't summarize what to say, but this is what I thought. I thought he did a good deed. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Lata. And I think Shanta said you need to leave early too. Would you like to go next?
I don't need to leave very early. Let other people finish. I am talking too much already.
All right. Okay. So let's go over here. Geeta Shanoy. 2 minutes yours.
Yes, I like the book very much because in olden days, the mailman was so close to every family, and the attachment that each one felt with the mailman was not only Ramanuja, but even the others, other family members, other places where he was distributing the mail. And he kept the last part I loved very much, where he kept the secret about the uncle's death, because he wanted the family to go through the wedding. And though he felt it was not right himself, but on second thought, he said, look, the wedding was more important. The person who is gone is already gone. So I like that part very much, really.
Thank you, Geeta.
Thank you, Geeta. Sushila,
But
would you like to say something?
I like that story because that postman is so close to the family, all of them, meeting and thinking about the people and all that. That part I like it. What else?
Anything else you would like to add?
And the wedding. Oh, how come you opened the mail? That I was curious. It is illegal, no? To open somebody's mail.
That was a
That is,
telegram, no?
he also opened the mail, I think. Yeah, I know in this country it is illegal.
Right. They're also normally they don't open. I don't know why he opened it. Yeah.
Yeah, he said that it is not right. You can complain and I can get sacked. He said that, right?
But how did he know that the news was bad to open it? Before
Because
I think he was just foreseeing it.
curious.
No, it was the telegram. It was the telegram he saw.
No, I
He
thought
died.
telegram.
It was not the
Telegram is
letter.
open, no?
It was a telegram he saw, and he was thinking whether to bring the telegram to the house, but the wedding was going to happen, so he said it doesn't matter.
Matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
what I
person
thought
is
because
gone.
telegram is open. It is even that they normally seal in the telegraph office. They would have sealed and given it to him, but maybe they saw.
I,
Telegram also he got by that Morse code or something, looks like, right? There was that little, in the video if you watch, there's that little thing
See, that's how
shaking.
it was. Afterwards, it would come in letters, no alphabets. When they transmit, it comes in that Morse code, and below that will be the alphabets.
the one thing I remember, and it may be a related thing, is that in the olden days, I mean, the olden days when I was married, and that, and probably a lot of you, was the custom to send a telegram with congratulations and best wishes at the time of marriage, because I know I received so many from different places. So that is maybe he thought that that was one more from the for the congratulating the couple, and so he opened it. I don't know.
Oh, why should you open a
Yeah.
congratulations? Yeah.
I know.
I think you're right, Nandini. You're on the dot. You're right. Your
I
point.
have, my thoughts were, when I was a child, how my parents would, I don't know why my mother would always say, hey, postman banna. Did the postman come? I don't understand what letters she was expecting because it was not that a bank would send a letter those days or somebody, what letters she was expecting. But one thing I know, every week she would get that magazine, Sudha.
Yeah.
That's a very popular magazine, so they would be waiting near the gate for that magazine to come and, that guy to put it. It's not the mailman, the one who distributes. But it was surprising why they would wait for the mailman. What kind of letters, even that single letter in 1 month or, once in a way made so much of difference to them. One letter from their father, from my mother's father. He was in Bangalore, she was in another place. Maybe that is a kind of thing. So, now the communication is so easy. We don't even appreciate what we have. Those days it was remote, it was difficult. So she was, thinking about her, they really appreciated every single, sometimes it will be only a postcard, just 4 5 lines. And they appreciated it so much that she would be waiting every day for the mailman.
Thank you for sharing, Sandhya. Yes, true.
I
Let's
just had,
give,
if you don't mind, I just wanted to clarify about how the postman saw the message that it was a card, postcard. So in postcard, it's written on
Yeah.
outside. So I think that's how he recognized
Oh,
that
yeah,
the
yeah.
brother was no
Not
more.
a
I just
letter.
read
Yeah.
the story that he says it was a card, and then he
Yeah.
gives the telegram.
Card you can read, it's exposed.
all right, let's move on to Shaukat. You have 2 minutes, all yours.
It's me.
Yep.
Okay. Well, as my usual habit is, when I started, I read almost the whole book anyway before. But my usual habit when I read any stories is something happening in my life right now that is somehow connected to this story, even though it was so many years ago. And obviously, I drifted very quickly to the yoga classes I joined. And often I started thinking Chitra, often emphasizing yoga is not just breathing in and out, it's connecting with the breathing. Now, I won't go into that detail because you know even more about it, but my point is this, that this portrayal of this character, the mailman, he is so well connected with his job. He is so into it. Not only that, he is also so connected with the people he served. So this combination was like his lifeblood. Without it, like he was just gone. And this connection between his job and the people made him intensely interested in the people he served. And he had such good intentions. To do good for any time or at any time to any one of his clients, the people he delivered the mail to. And this obviously led him into his connection with Ramanujan and the fact that he had brought the very first letter when Kamakshi was born and had followed her all these years until she was 17 years old. So it was as if Kamakshi was his daughter, almost. He was almost a father figure to her. And for that, he put his neck on line. And that's the thing that impressed me a great deal. But coming back to the now, the present, I'm sure there are a number of us there, we are professionals. Today, for a professional to get involved personally with the client is a little bit of a risky business. That's all I really came to conclusion with this story. I really liked the story, but these are some of the points that came out of it.
Thank you, Shaukat. That's nice observation. Let's hear from Nirmala.
Like most of you, I also liked the story very much. I think it was very touching and moving, the way that Kanappa was so involved with the lives of all his clients or the people that he served. He almost like took on himself to do what he thought was right. By looking at the mail and taking care of whatever problems they might have, like, letting them know sometimes ahead of them reading the letters themselves. And in the end, what he did, I think he thought he was doing the right thing by reading the letter and not letting Ramanujam know that his brother had died. So I think what he did was okay, but on the other hand, it was not the right thing because he wasn't doing something legal. But in those days, I think they didn't see it that way. Maybe they did, but I'm not sure if they did. But all in all, I thought it was a very moving story, just like all of R.K. Narayan's, most of his short stories. And I enjoyed reading it and trying to read into the story. That's all I have to say about it.
Thank you, Nirmala, for sharing your thoughts. Shanta, you're the next in the box.
Yeah. I think I'll be repeating the same thing. And one thing I liked about the mailman, when Kamakshi was born, and usually, particularly in those days, first child born, a boy, people wanted a boy. And he said, Kamakshi, it's a Lakshmi coming. It's very nice that you have a daughter. So that portion really touched me. Because even in those days, if we had said that, or usually people won't say that. And rest of the things they already repeated. I don't want to repeat about what Geeta said or Nirmala said about, or Shaukat said, that the story was, being a short story, it was very well compiled nicely. And I liked about him that he cared about all his clients wherever he distributed the mail. And I like the thing, in the hot sunny day, he wanted some buttermilk. I loved it. And actually, I was feeling like having buttermilk. I told my daughter, I'll make buttermilk for you tonight. So that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Shanta. Shivdas Pai, Mom, you're the next person.
Yeah, I like the story, and I like the way that Tanappa getting connected to all the families, different households, and he knew exactly who's looking for what. A person working, I mean, waiting for his puzzle prize, another one for the appointment letter, and then he got so close to Ramanujam's family from the um birth of, I mean, from the time Ramanujam wives went to village, and then she sent a letter or whatever to say that Kamakshi was born. And then he was observing closely. And then whenever there was a rejection from the boy's side, he was really getting irritated. Why they're saying this? Kamakshi is so nice, so beautiful, and then photo, and then he got so carried away that he wanted to guide Ramanujam everywhere, and particularly when he was getting irritated, Ramanujam was getting irritated by his father-in-law, and he was trying to console him. Now, this is what it is, and this reminds me of my school days. We had a postman like that, and
Yeah.
he used to come, give the letters, and then when we are playing, he used to come to us. Oh, your letter, go up. We were on the second floor, so he was so close, and his sons were our good friends. So he used to give the letters, and okay, your letter, take it home. Or if we are standing in the gallery, he would call, come down, come down. This is your letter. So close he was. And same thing here. And the last part, of course, I mean, responsibility wise, what he has done is not right. But thinking from the point of view of emotions or the connections with the Ramanujam family, I think from my personal point of view, he did a right thing, because the person who passed away is gone. But had there been that bad news spread out on that particular wedding day, the wedding would have stopped, because Ramanujam says, "Oh, if I had known that uncle died, then I wouldn't have gone ahead with the wedding," and that would have resulted in waiting for 3 years, because that boy was going away, and that was the last day chosen. So, and then finally he says, "Yes, okay. If you think wrong, if you want to complain, complain, but that will cost my job." So on the whole, it was very nicely written, and then brought all the old memories back, how the postmen were close to the people. And then he said it is like that Vinayak Mudli Street and the four parallel roads. He used to spend 6 hours with the people, going around, and whenever there is a money order, he used to wait and sit with them, and then to find out how every rupee will be spent. That much he was involved. And then, like Shanta said, buttermilk. I remember he was talking about payasam. Some
Yeah.
payasam, I will look for payasam. So he felt that they're all his family members. A very nicely written story. I loved it. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivdas. Nandini, we would like to hear from you on your thoughts about the story.
Well, thank you, Padma. And like everybody else, I found the story very heart wrenching, and it was still beautiful. It touched my heart in a beautiful way. And yet I got a little worried about what is going to happen to him. In fact, when I saw the title Missing Mail, I thought that it was, he had lost the mail to be delivered to the people, and somehow mixed it up or whatever, and had not been able to deliver it to them. And I like the fact that, like Shivdas pointed out, he took time to go around and talk to people, and And he says that it didn't matter, it says there, it didn't matter to him how long it took, but he would make sure that everybody got their letters. And yes, he really loved Kamakshi like a daughter, and he was very eager that she should get married. And like Shubdas said, she was going to, the boy was going to be away for 3 years. And of course, the date was important, because after that, I can't remember what it was, but a bad time of the year, we too have it, and that was going to start where weddings don't take place. And so that was like the deadline. And that's what made him decide that he's not going to tell them that the father's brother had passed away. Because as with that, the marriage would have been cancelled, and who knows what would have happened to Kamakshi's wedding or plans. And I'm sure, having done that, having hidden or kept that letter or postcard away from the family, he was actually risking his job, and he must have felt so guilty. That would have been something that he felt so guilty about it, but it helped in the end, and I'm glad he did that. Back to you, Padma.
Thank you, Nandini, for sharing your thoughts. Let's hear from Sandhya Srivatsan.
Like I'm taking a little different take on this whole story, in the sense that the premise and the setting of R.K. Narayan Ji taking the story, the prevalent times of those days. And I grew up in a city, but in small towns and villages, I think this was more prevalent. Even in Bangalore, where I grew up, it was there, the postman being very friendly. But to the extent to which that even the alliance which came to Kamakshi, because he realized that in some house that the alliance didn't go through, and how he passed on that information to these people to proceed in the so-called the gossip monger, or the Narada, as they say, the Narada job of going from Yahan. That's what struck me. I was thinking, because, a gossip of a different kind, right? So going and telling what is happening in other person's household. Normally, nobody would like that, right? Appreciate it. But, that was something that came about to me in a very different perspective. But at the same time, his thoughtfulness, his sensitivity, the family of Ramanujam, how close he was, how grateful he was for, and the passion that, as Shaukatji said, so involved in the job that he was there for 6 hours on the street. All that was beautiful. And what I also remembered was how those days people, because of astrology and because of dowry, even those things were brought out. The social circumstances also was kind of highlighted by R.K. Narayanan. And moving forward to this century and age, I have a marriageable age daughter, so I know what is happening. So it is it's very interesting to see in a nutshell. And I would like to say that there is a song from the movie Palkon Ki Chaav Mein, in which Rajesh Khanna acts like a postman, and he does something very similar to this. So what this Tanappa did, like going to every family. So there's a Dakia Dak Dala Dak, that is a song which he sings, Rajesh Khanna. So I thought that was something that I could share with all of you, and thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
Very good.
Thank you, Sandhya, for sharing your thoughts. I have Lena next in the box. Lena, are you available to discuss today?
No,
Lena?
I just read the story while you were talking about it. I haven't had a chance, so it's okay. I'll just listen.
All right.
I just finished reading at 2:30.
No worries. Thank you for joining. I next have Yoga Smart Tab. I don't know who it is. Would you
That
like?
is, I think, Geeta's daughter's mother-in-law.
Hi.
Hi. She's
Would you
switched
like
off
to
the
say
camera.
your impressions about the story? Say anything you would like.
You're muted. Unmute कीजिए. You're muted.
Okay, I got it. Now it's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I really like the story. I read over and over again,
Oh, good.
over and over again. And the most part, I like it when you guys show the like a video. It's much more clear than rather reading the story again and again, but you still get the, the gist of it. And I look forward to have all those short stories. And it really storms your brain to think.
Yeah.
That was my whole point, because otherwise long stories is too much for us to read and then remember. So other than that, I really enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Sandhya, Ranjit, would you like to share your thoughts?
No, my thoughts are, I kept going back to how it was when I was a kid, and my mother would, sorry, I don't know why. Yeah. And my mother would say, "Oh, you were outside, didn't you see? Did the postman go? Did the postman come?" Those kind of, she would look at us, say, "What were you doing?" So that was the only thing that was on top of my mind. And postman and the barber, two of them, even the barber in our family, he used to come home and do all the shaving and cutting hair and all that kind of stuff. So one day in a week was set aside, the chair would be outside in the compound and all. So for me, it brought my childhood memories more than this thing, because I have seen Malgudi Days on TV in Bangalore, in Kannada, when they telecast it in Kannada, and I have read it. So I was just reliving my childhood through the story.
Beautiful.
Excuse me, did you guys already see the short video that you're going to show?
No, Lina, you did not miss it.
I didn't
No.
miss it. Okay.
We're going to watch it after the discussion questions.
Okay.
You are at the right place, Lina. All right. So thank you all for sharing your thoughts on the movie. I have some discussion questions. Some of it has already been answered while you were all speaking, but we will still discuss it. Maybe if you have answered that question, you can let somebody else talk. I will read out the discussion questions. So please raise your hand if you would like to talk. All right. What were you expecting when you saw the title, The Missing Male? What were you expecting when you saw the title, The Missing Male?
I think as Nandini will go ahead.
Nandini, go
Yeah,
ahead.
as I said before, when I first saw the title, I thought that this mailman is very not very good at his job, and he's actually lost the mail of the people. But then when you read the story, you realize even till the end, I was wondering, why is it called The Missing Mail? Because he's going and making sure everybody got their mail and having a little chat and a word with them, joke with them. So here it was something that didn't make sense with the title until the end. And so that's why, that's what I thought when I saw the name. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Nandini. I think Shanta has a hand raised, and Lina,
Yeah.
I'll come to you next.
When I first saw Missing Male, last time you had given the two stories. Remember, if you remember, Padma, Astrologer's Day and Missing Male, both were given at the beginning. So that time I thought Missing Male will be some kind of mystery might be there. I was thinking wrong mail goes to the wrong person, and some kind of mystery kind of thing, story might be there. That's what I was thinking.
Thank you. Lina.
When I just read the title, I thought, not intentionally, I thought some mail actually got lost somewhere. And then what could it have caused? How much troubles it could have caused? All sorts of them. But I didn't think it was done intentionally, like by the mailman did. I thought the mail got lost and maybe some big disaster happened because of that, or something like that. But I haven't had much chance to think about it anyways.
Thank you, Lina. Anybody else?
Salem is an American town, no?
I'm sorry?
Near Boston.
Yeah, America has all Portugal. There are so many Scarboroughs in North America. Salem was earlier Tamil Nadu's capital city. Then they changed the name of the, to Chennai. Tamil Nadu is still there, and Chennai, Salem is still there, right?
Yeah.
My
Not the
daughter,
capital city. Madras was the capital city. Now then they changed it to Chennai, and Salem is another town in Tamil Nadu.
oh my God. Oh, I see, India.
Yeah. Oh my God, Shant.
Because my daughter went to Salem for her speech program from Boston. So I thought that is.
Okay.
Ah. Okay. I see Shaukat smiling. Would you like to add something?
About the missing title, I was kept in suspense. I first thought that this missing male was displaced and was not there, and somehow I was waiting for it to resurface, maybe brought in by somebody else and not the mailman. But it turned out that it actually was brought out by the mailman himself. That's how I was. I went through the story. I was all the time thinking of that.
Thank you. Anyone else? Otherwise, we'll move on to the next question. Did Tanappa like his mailman job? Did Tanappa like his mailman job?
Totally.
Yes.
Okay, tell us why. Who would like to go first?
Yeah.
Nirmala, you can go.
Nirmala.
I think he loved his job so much that he was so involved with everybody else's lives, like as if they were all part of his family, including Kamakshi, as if that she was his daughter. And I think he enjoyed doing what he was doing. And at the end, I think he was kind of sorry that he might lose his job because of what he had done. That's what I think. I think he really enjoyed his job because he was so involved with everybody and took time and energy in doing what he did.
In present times, we will be calling is too nosy.
Yeah.
The person is too nosy. He had no business in our personal life, kind of thing. We will say that if somebody. I mean, this was different times, so it's different things.
Yeah.
Nandini, you had something to say? I'll come to you next, Shaukat, okay?
Me? Okay. Yeah, like Nirmala, I thought he was, he really loved his job. And the fact that the more than loving his job, because he wanted to do his job well, but I think he loved to keep the human touch with people, something that is totally missing. I know I get my mail in my mailbox downstairs. I live in a condo. I get the mailbox downstairs. I never see the mailman. All I see is the van sometimes. But and I know that in many places they have places where they have letter boxes, like huge ones, where you open with a key and get your mail. And of course, now it's almost redundant. We get all our bills and everything in the mail. In the tech, we get them digitally. And we make the payments digitally, so it doesn't matter. But in those days, it was so important to receive a bill or, to receive money to pay the bill. All those factors came into his work. He did that to make sure everybody was okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nandini. Shaukat, go ahead.
Yeah, all through the story, I didn't find a shred of evidence that he found any part of his job as a chore. He was that well connected with his job. There was none of it. And it often made me think that it doesn't really matter what we are doing. No matter what job we are doing, as long as we are connected with it with some intensity, then it is not a chore. It becomes a chore when we say, oh, this is boring, because we fail to actually connect with what we are doing. That's how I saw his job and his attitude towards it.
Thank you. Lena, did you raise your hand earlier?
Yeah, he did enjoy his job very much. Almost it sounds like that was his life. Like all the description that they're giving, he's thinking about the whole community and what's going on in everybody's life, trying to connect them to each other. It doesn't look like they're part of his family. It's a big family, and that is his family. And he's really into it. And like Shaukat just said, he's not thinking about how much further he's gonna have to walk if we went to this person's house first. He's gonna have to go back and forth and do a lot more walking, but he doesn't seem to mind that. He's really into people and into doing his job. And he's very happily doing it. That is very touching.
True. Anybody else?
I want to just add one thing. When he became very busy and he was sitting with the family, Ramanujan's family, what is described as the council meeting, so to speak. If you remember that state, when he stopped talking to several of his clients that he delivered mail to. He'd drop off the mail and rush off. He'll drop off because he needed time to be with the family about the planning of the wedding, etc. And yet, when that happened, somebody asked him suddenly, what has happened to you? Why are you in such a hurry? He didn't fail. He still told them, after the 20th of May, I will sit with you for as long as is necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
He didn't want to let it go. He wasn't going to be classified as the rude mailman who came and dropped off and walked away.
Very good point.
Hey, the 5,000 you already gave the dowry.
Yes.
Any other thoughts? Otherwise, we shall move on to the, yes, Sandhya, were you?
Yeah, I just had what reminded me of the missing mail when the character of the postman and all that. You know, they used to come for bakshis for Deepavali or for Pongal.
I was going to
That came to my mind, that they would come and ask us around Pongal or Deepavali, any big celebration, they would come and ask for inam.
But instead he says that I will give something to Ganesha himself.
Yeah, Vinayak temple. I'll do a puja in the temple, he said. Yeah.
A coconut to Ganesha.
A coconut, yeah. A coconut to the Vinayaka temple.
It is really touching. Instead of him asking for something for arranging the marriage or being the instrument in the marriage, he says, I will go and offer a coconut to the Vinayak in
That's
happiness from his heart, which is something else.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. Jayashree had texted me, Jayashree Pai, that she has very bad cold. Last time she was involved and she talked a lot last our book club meeting. She said just to let Padma and Sandhya know that she wouldn't be able to be here. I suddenly saw the text she had sent me.
Thanks for the update, Shanta. The next discussion question is, how do you think the people of Malgudi felt about Tanappa? How do you think the people of Malgudi felt about Tanappa? Shanta and then
No,
Geeta.
Geeta, go ahead.
Oh, the people just loved him because he also considered every person as a family. So the people considered him as family as well. And, you know, they went and gave him buttermilk and he would sit and chat with them. They would probably tell him all the problems or whatever, but Yeah, they loved him. They loved him. He was a very personal kind of the personal touch was so much that they did not treat him like a mailman. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
Same thing, ditto. Ditto.
Padma,
Yes.
was your question about how people felt about the postman not delivering that one mail?
No,
Or-
no.
No, just general question
general.
about what people of Malgudi felt about
Yeah,
the mailman.
they seem to like him. But I was wondering what they would feel after they find out that he had kept the mail with himself. That would be something else.
I'm not sure that the other people knew that.
That's right. That's right. I don't think Ramanujam and his family would divulge that information.
Absolutely not. Yeah, yeah. If that was the case, he would have reported him and he would have lost the job. Remember?
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But having said that, we don't know what happened after the story, right?
that's right.
Yeah,
It is part 2 to be continued.
We can conclude our own ideas, whatever you want to.
I was curious
It's
about
the
that.
next story.
And it will come out in a small town. It's not
But
gonna
the one thing which amazed me was, so it was about a week gap after the wedding was over that he produced a letter. If it was his own brother who passed away, Ramanujam's, wouldn't he have missed him at the wedding and wondered? That is my curiosity.
That was his brother.
Yeah,
But he was
so
didn't come for the wedding.
he didn't come for the wedding, and those days, because of not the kind of communication that we had, perhaps he was just waiting for him to write an excuse as to why he didn't come for the daughter's wedding. Right?
Never know what their relationship was. or
No,
if
but
they-
he was not well. Remember, I think
That's
I read,
right.
he was not well, but he
Correct.
didn't know he died. Because he was not well, he didn't come for the wedding.
Come for the wedding.
Right,
That's
right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, thank you.
All right, next.
Tanappa pointed out himself about the date on the card, right? So he was feeling guilty about it, but he knew why he did it. So he himself pointed out, and then the date on the card, say it was 19th, and then the telegram was the 20th. So he himself pointed out. Otherwise, I think Ramanujam, maybe he wouldn't have paid attention to the date of the card.
Right. Okay. Shall we do one last question? We have about 4 minutes. Did Ramanujam feel pressured by his father-in-law?
Oh, yeah.
Very much.
Big time.
Very much.
Absolutely.
Big time. Very difficult father-in-laws, eh?
Mm. Demanding father-in-law.
But he's giving him money for the wedding, so I guess he had the right. to do
Actually, if you go to see, the father-in-law was very concerned that the girl was growing up, and Ramanujan, he thought that Ramanuja was not doing enough. And those days it was like that, if you miss a certain age, then you miss the bus.
Yeah, she was already 17.
Yes.
That means.
Yeah. So he was more concerned, and he knew that he is giving up 5,000 rupees. But more than that, he was more concerned about his granddaughter.
Yeah.
But the way he probably showed is he was very demanding, that making Ramanuja's life difficult. In today's days, the son-in-law will say, take a hike.
Oh, no, the daughter will say, Kamakshi will say, take a hike. Don't worry about my marriage.
No. The
Why are you worried
grandfather.
about my wedding? You take care of yourself.
One thing
Give
I
me
will
the money.
appreciate that, grandfather, not only he was bugging Ramanujam, but he was so much concerned that he put aside all his insurance money for Kamakshi's marriage. He didn't think of his old age or anything. So, yes, I think.
Yeah, he was more concerned.
Only
Yeah.
thing is, he was irritating Ramanujam, but
Yeah.
that's because of the mentality of the society those days.
Yeah.
Mm. Because the 5,000 rupees was a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
the boy was earning only 200 rupees a month.
Yeah.
In that context, so he was paying the piper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he thought he had a right.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yes.
As a senior man in the family.
Okay, how is everyone doing on time? I have two more questions which we have kind of discussed earlier. Would you like to discuss it, or shall we go on to watch the movie?
I think watch the movie.
Watch the
Watch the
movie,
movie
yeah.
because it's getting
It's 20
late
minutes
too. Yeah.
long.
Before that, I just have a couple of things to say. From next month, we will have the Talking Books meeting on third Wednesday of every month at 2 p.m. We did this so we can get some break between the regular socials. The regular socials are the second and fourth Tuesday. So we decided to have this on the third Wednesday of every month. I hope it works for everybody. So the next club meeting in April will be third Wednesday, April 19th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, raise your hand if you would like to continue reading another R.K. Narayan story. Sushila, any thoughts? Okay. So are you guys okay? Shall we go ahead and...
All of you. I
Okay.
learned a lot.
Yes, thank you. And it's also an easy read.
Yes.
It takes less than 15 minutes to read, and if you feel like you want to read it again, it's not too big to read. So shall we go on to read the third story in the collection, The
Yes.
Doctor's Word? The Doctor's Word it is for the next meeting on April 19th. And now over to Sandhya to show us the movie of The Missing Mail.
I'll go get my popcorn.
Sure.
And Michael's fill their Easter baskets with mix and match deals on brands they'll love, now through April 8th.
It's a great time to try a Mama Burger. That Mama Burger is just $2.99.
What? Great deal.
This is Dave, head of marketing at a ketchup company about to use Grammarly to handle a tight deadline.
Hope you all enjoyed the movie.
Thank you.
Still have any popcorn left?
Very
Sandhya,
good.
you want to stop the recording?
1 second. It's not stopping. 1 second. Yeah. I hope it doesn't start.
Sandhya, I had to miss some parts because I had to go downstairs and pick up my granddaughter.